In the 1960s, during the counterculture, an event promoter named Michael Lang arranged a live music event in Bethel, New York, 40 miles southwest of the town of Woodstock, inviting musicians like the Grateful Dead, The Who, Jefferson Airplane, David Crosby, and Jimi Hendrix. The festival, named Woodstock after the larger neighboring town, became a major event in the cultural history of the United States. Ultimately, Woodstock came to embody the change in values that was occurring in the 1960s. The war in Vietnam, going poorly and having become unpopular, had involved a draft of many young Americans and resulted in the needless loss of their lives. This led to the pacifist movement, with many young people becoming subversive and anti-war. Values about work were also shifting. From the Protestant work ethic of the 1950s, the new beatnik movement, combined with an interest in Indian spiritual teachers, resulted in a different attitude toward work. Woodstock also embodied the shift in sexual relations, away from the restrictive sexual mores of the 50s toward the movement for free love. The bands that played were also indicative of the emotions of the era. The psychedelic rock of the musicians showed the ideals of pacifism, free love, and religious exploration. While there was an admission to attend Woodstock, due to its large scale and open venue, it turned into a non-commercial affair, with many people attending for free. The event ultimately embodied the idealism of a generation, presenting a new vision of what America's values could be and what the country could aspire for. So from it, we see an America of free love, peace, and anti-commercialism, and of a psychedelic rock, expressing a desire for liberation and a freedom from the behavioral constraints of historical moralizers. 30 years later, in a very different America, the same promoters planned a new Woodstock, this time in 1999. They moved the event to a new location in the town of Rome, New York. What would happen is one of the most interesting events for students of American psychology. The dramatic shift in principles from those used to organize the original Woodstock shows how much American culture changed in 30 years. While people got into the original Woodstock for free, a grievance of the promoters was they were never able to capitalize on its legacy. Due to this, a goal of the 99 Woodstock, in conformity with the new commercial values of America, was to transform it into a for-profit event. The same people who made the idealistic Woodstock changed their ethics to match the new time. Choosing a venue for the festival, the promoters chose to have it on a military base, thinking it would be easier to manage a large population in such an environment. They decided they would build a wall around the location to run a tighter ship and compel people to pay to attend. They chose to disguise the wall with paint and art, trying to hide its monetary purpose to stop freeloaders from getting into the event for free. Not only that, but choosing to set Woodstock on a military base was a reversal of the principles of the original concert, shifting it away from the ideals of pacifism and anti-war to those of commercialism and the military-industrial complex. While the original was set in an open field with trees and nature, attendees at the 99 event were on a military tarmac with no shade, with events being held in the various hangars throughout the base. Even this showed the shift in values. The trees provided the free service of shade in the sun. Without them, the attendees could only cool down by paying for expensive bottled water, or by competing for what little shade was available on the tarmac. To save on costs, the promoters provided few public water sources and toilets. This resulted in the water systems breaking down, resulting in people washing in, drinking from, and swimming in sewage, resulting in people getting trench foot or inflammations of the throat. To save further, the promoters did not pay for real security. This had consequences for the highly masculinized event, resulting in several occurrences of sexual misconduct. While an appeal of the original Woodstock was its promotion of free love, Its 1999 version showed that, without a sense of the sacredness of the body, society had transitioned to a materialization and commodification of the self. The music at Woodstock 99 is also something to consider. Consisting of bands like Limp Bizkit and Korn, the tone of the music expressed experiences of anger and resentment, unhappiness and frustration with society. This tone shift shows how America changed from spiritual values to those of materialism, resulting in outcries at the feelings of alienation and inequality. A major performance at the festival was Limp Bizkit's song Break Stuff, which was the event that caused the crowd to start turning their grievances against the promoters and the festival itself. After the song, attendees began attacking the sound and video towers and turned hostile to journalists like those from MTV. The promoters tried to schedule calming bands to repacify the crowd, but for the festival's remaining days, the spirit of grievance was unleashed. Woodstock 99 was booked to end with Red Hot Chili Peppers performing the song Fire by Jimi Hendrix, something that happened at the original Woodstock. Yet this followed the audience being given candles to commemorate the victims of gun violence, like those at Columbine. Combined with the unhappiness of the crowd, this performance resulted in the attendees starting fires, attacking vendors, and destroying parts of the festival itself, eventually turning into an angry mob. The promoters tried to send firefighters to put out the fire set by the crowd, but they refused to go out of fear. The crowd pulled down the sound tower and descended into an almost pagan-like frenzy of moral liberty. Eventually, the state police had to be called in to pacify the crowd. One of the most poetic images that emerged out of Woodstock 99 is this one, of the sound tower pulled down and covered in flames, the attendees climbing on it like a fallen icon. I think this behavior was partly self-conscious, with people understanding the symbolism of it. As we've entered the 21st century, the last vestiges of Christian morality have been torn down, replaced instead by the spirits of liberty, materialism, and amorality. Thus, Woodstock 99 teaches us the moral transformation of America, that we have left our old spiritual culture behind and replaced it with one of nihilism and commercialism.